the Calgary Flames have had some major news come out today. Some good and some bad. We'll be going over all of the news we have in this video. But before we get into it, we noticed that 97% of you guys are not subscribed. So if you're looking for a spot to get all the breaking news on the Calgary Flames or your favorite team and everywhere else around the league, you're in the right spot. Make sure to stay a while, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the major breaking news from across the league or any team around the league. You can go your favorite team anywhere else. So make sure to subscribe. But like I said, we have some pretty big news today based on the Calgary Flames, based out of Calgary. Some good, some bad. We'll start off with the good and leave the bad for last, because we're starting this off on a good note here today. First of all, he's back and wearing the C. That's right. Mikael Backlund, however you pronounce it, I've seen multiple ways, has been signed to a 2-year, $4.5 million AAV on the contract and has been named the 21st captain in franchise history. A move that, once he was re-signed, kind of everybody knew he was going to be captain at that point, fed his way in. Now back on this team for what will likely probably be the last 2 years of his NHL career. He's 34 right now, going to be around 37 when the contract expires, based on whenever his birthday is. But Mikael Backlund, whatever, he's been a pretty average player his entire career. Had a career season last year, 56 points in 82 games, but really he's kind of been anywhere from around 40 to 50. But 4.5 you probably think is a lot of money for a guy like this, but he suits well in Calgary, fits well in Calgary. Giving him the captain for it, playing a third-line center role on this team, you can see, like, he's not going to be second or first-line center at this point, but he does well in Calgary, he fits well in Calgary, and I think it's a smart move, a very respectable move, getting a guy long-term on this team. Probably, I think he's the second, or will be the second player in Calgary Flames history to play 1,000 games with the Flames jersey on, just the Flames jersey. But no, what do you think about the extension as well as the a promotion, I guess you could say, to captain?
Yeah. Well, I think they had to do it. And, all the whole pending contract talks with him and Elias Lindholm as well, which that's another topic I won't really dive into. But they had to get this one done. He's kind of their backbone. He's the glue on that team. He's not a first or second line caliber player, I should say. I think, like I said, they had to get it done. $4.5 million is a bit steep for a third line center. But, he's your character and he's your backbone. So I love the move.
Yeah, no, it's very respectable, like I said. There's a lot of guys that probably could have been other than Mikael Backlund, but he was the clear option at this point in time.
Yeah. Like Uyghur, too, maybe.
Was that?
Like Mackenzie Uyghur, I think, could have been.
I think another guy like Noah Hannafin as well. Maybe even Nazem Kadri. He's been around the league for a while, and he's kind of changed his character after leaving Toronto. He's becoming one of those respectable players. But right now, Mikael Backlund is guaranteed was the number one option for this team for the time being, at least for the next 2 years. But then we'll see after that what happens again, where the Calgary Flames are.
They 100% dangled that in front of him with the contract extension. He was a pending he was unrestricted free agent, I think. And, there was all these talks about, I'm not going to sign back and I don't want to stay here. And I think they said, well, let's bring you back. We'll give you the C. And I mean, who doesn't say no to that? So
fair enough. Yeah. And especially Calgary, kind of a weird spot now, but hopefully they'll change the direction from where they were last season, going into a whole new staff, everything. I think the Calgary Flames will be back to where they were before the previous season, back to what they should be by the roster, what it looks like. But now we're going to head into our pretty bad news, I guess, for Calgary Flames fans. Well, it is bad news. Injury update on Jakob Pelletier. Sustained an injury to his left shoulder in the preseason that will require surgery next week, and he will be out indefinitely. Now, we don't have any timeline for his return, but this is obviously a huge blow to the Calgary Flames. I expected him, and I'm sure a lot of other people expect him to take a major step up this season. He hasn't played too much in the NHL so far, from other than the AHL and the Calgary Wranglers and Stockton Heat. But 24 games in the NHL with 7 points, and he was likely, I think, at least he should have started in the NHL this season. So it is a major blow. I was really excited to see how he would have played out in this new Calgary Flames system, along with some other guys, like the younger guys that they're going to move in. Dustin Wolf, who may make a few appearances this year, and I was really excited for it, but it really does suck. So, Noah, what do you think about the Jakob Pelletier injury, and what it'll mean for him going forward with the Calgary Flames and the team starting out of camp?
Well, I think he kind of got, not thrown under the bus, but got put down the rankings, I guess, with the whole rookie class coming in. The rookie class this year is absolutely insane. I thought he could have been poised for a very solid season. those junior stats there, I mean, just crazy numbers. I mean, he put up over point per game in junior and Moncton in the Q. Another thing, he played in the World Juniors, I think, I can't remember what exact year, but he looked really, really good. And I think for a young player to come in Calgary, they're not young. They're not young. They're kind of on the older side of things. To have a young guy come in there, take over, and I think be poised for a breakout season, playing with all skilled players and all veteran players. I think he could have had a really, really good year. And it sucks now because obviously the shoulder injury. But there's been guys who've had like shoulder injuries. I know Cole Caulfield last year missed half the season. Arbor Jack, another guy that missed a lot of time. I'm not trying to go on the Habs train here, but I think the shoulder surgery I think will be fine, and I think he will come back, and I do think he could be a top 6 role in Calgary easily.
Hopefully, at least. He's looked really good in his, the AHL as well. He's pretty much point per game in the AHL and in junior, above point per game, like you said. But correct me if I'm wrong. Did McDavid also have was it a shoulder injury in his rookie season? I knew it was somewhere upper body, I believe, but
I'm not quite sure, but you might be right.
Yeah, when he got put in the boards, I can remember that very faintly, but I can't remember if it was shoulder. But if that was a shoulder, look how that turned out. Now, I'm not saying Jakob Pelletier will be anything like Connor McDavid, but you know what I mean. But like I said, Jakob Pelletier would have started on the 4th line likely, probably made his way up to the 3rd, possibly even somewhere else. You got Matt Coronado as well, started out last season, got called up on the 2nd line here. But I do agree with what you said. There's some players on this team that are very, very much older than some of the younger guys. Matt Coronado, Jakob Pelletier, some of those guys. Noah Hannafin on defense, he's 26. But other than that, there's a lot of people that are getting up there in age, and the Calgary Flames window is kind of in a weird spot, mainly because they have a lot of older people, but they also do have a lot of prospects that they're going to try to, I guess, what I think they should do is feed them in slowly throughout the year. Maybe an injury pops up here, take another prospect, put him in the NHL, see how he does, and work that train into the future, I guess.
You mentioned Dustin Wolf as well, right? And the goalie, I think you might have touched on him. Bring him in. I'm not sure. I think they have Vladar, who I think could be a starter on a bad team. Move him. Maybe, you explore moving him and then bring in Dustin Wolf. He put up stellar numbers in junior and in the AHL. Obviously they have, I think, a Vezina caliber trophy or Vezina caliber player in Jacob Markstrom. Bring him in, let him develop, let him mentor with Jacob Markstrom. And then, again, Jacob Markstrom is not very young either. He's on the older side. Then when Jacob Markstrom's done and gone, you bring in Dustin Wolf and there's your starter, I think that Calgary should kind of embrace the younger wave, I think, a little bit. I don't know if that's the right way of putting that.
I'm in full agreement with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're at that point now where we'll have to see how they do this season with their playoff run, Last year was obviously not the year they wanted. That was with some external extremities, I would say, that they couldn't really control. But now that's all gone. That's over with. That's in the past. They should move on now and see how they do this season and then go base off that. But Pelletier, very unfortunate that he's out. I would say at least half the season. I'm no doctor, though. I'm no surgeon. I don't know how long he will be out. But my estimation is at least half the season, with especially a shoulder injury in a physical league. So I say half the season, but I don't think it's anything to worry. I think he'll come back better than ever as well. And congratulations to Mikael Backlund. Well deserved, especially the captaincy and the contract. But that's all we have for this video. Let us know down below what you think about the captaincy for Mikael Backlund and Pelletier, what you think about that injury. Love to hear it. Love reading your comments. But that's all we have. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like the video. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any of the breaking news around the league. But thank you for watching. See you later, and have a good night.